I'm on the ground in Donna, Texas. If you want to take a look at this facility right here, to your left, that is the Border Patrol tent facility, stands right behind me. Just a month ago, Customs and Border Patrol agents completed the construction of that facility. It's a 165,000 square foot facility, and we have never seen images inside this facility before. They won't even allow the non-profit lawyers who conduct the actual oversight of these immigration detention centers to go inside. Nobody has seen photos inside of this place until now. Project Veritas has obtained never-before-seen photographs of what it actually looks like inside this facility. Shocking images showing people wrapped up in what looks like metal foil, laying on the ground, their faces covered. Why won't the administration be honest about this? Why won't they show you these images? We have a man who's telling us to leave. Where would the press?
Oh man, you gotta get off. It's private property.
They told us it's private property, but you know what isn't private property? Airspace. We're gonna fly this Cirrus right over the top of the detention center to get a better look. Airspace is not private property, so we're flying 1,000 feet. There's the facility right there. You can see it. There it is. Flying over the facility to give you a good vantage point. There are the tents. You see a bus right over there. The bus is moving the facility. Kids in it. Now, during a recent press conference, the press secretary was asked a question why they haven't released these images.
Even you all haven't released any images that you obviously could redact if you wanted to.
Again, we remain committed to sharing with all of you data on the number of kids crossing
She dodged the question, saying, quote,
and we remain committed to transparency. I don't have an update for you on the timeline.
End quote. Well, Press Secretary of the White House, let Project Veritas do your job for you. Just last night, we have now obtained these photos inside this facility. Now, these photos are very, very grim. In addition to the photos, Project Veritas has also learned that these photographs were taken in the last few days. There are 8 pods with 8 cells in each facility. At any given moment, there are an average of 3,000 people in custody inside this detention center. Now, the pod has 8 cells that are currently holding 600, that's 600 unaccompanied juvenile males aged 7 to 17. They're separated by age or physical size depending on the room. 50 of the individuals inside this facility were COVID positive in these cells. There have been multiple sexual assaults inside this facility, normal assaults, and daily medical emergencies. This border crisis does not appear to be slowing down. In fact, we've just obtained new leaked documents as well from another insider, this one inside the Department of Homeland Security. It says the document was prepared by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Office of Intelligence. It warns of a potential Central American-based caravan coming our way in less than 2 weeks on March 30th. It says, quote, in the days leading up to March 30th, and should a caravan form, CBP personnel in the region will work closely with and maintain constant communications with CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. Now, every car that drives by is beeping at us. A lot of people giving us the middle finger here. A lot of people are not happy that we are filming or we are recording or asking questions about this facility. Not only did our DHS, that's Department of Homeland Security insider, leak us these documents, the insider also secretly recorded in a private DHS Q&A session Alejandro Mayorkas commenting on what he thinks is happening at the border. And you can hear this quote from Alejandro talking about the new administration making a decision not to expel unaccompanied children.
The new administration made a decision not to expel unaccompanied children. And we are addressing a significant increase in the encounters with unaccompanied children in between the ports of entry.
Here's a Customs and Border Patrol van. These are minors aged 7 to 17 inside the van. He's waving at us right now. The people that are being accompanied into this facility, according to what Project Veritas has learned, between the ages of 7 and 17, males, 600 unaccompanied juveniles. As you can see, we're on the corner of South International and Rio Grande Street, just south of Donna, Texas, north of the Mexican border. We were just there. at the bridge. We really appreciate the brave insider who worked with us on this story. The public has a right to know that we're going to create an army of whistleblowers and insiders. You can reach out to us at Veritas Tips, that's Veritas Tips at protonmail.com. Some extraordinary images here. The security guard is telling us to leave. Pissed. He's so pissed. They know we're here, ladies and gentlemen.
Project Veritas, you might have seen just yesterday, released exclusive undercover photos showing what the environment looks like within these, child cages, kids in cages type things. And basically you have people packed in like sardines with these, tinfoil weatherproof blankets, tinfoil looking weatherproof blankets. And it looks really bad. It looks worse than the kids in cages, pictures that Trump was blamed for, which ironically came from the Obama administration, which caused scandals across the country, which actually probably got a lot of people voting for Biden over Trump, even though it was technically under the Obama administration, under which Biden was vice president. And people were enraged about it, right? Remember the kids in cages narrative? It turns out the first photo they used of a kid in a cage turned out to be from a protest. It wasn't even a holding cell. And then they used these other photos. It turned out to, again, the other photos turned out to have been from the Obama administration. And then it turned out that, remember AOC went there and collapsed, crying, holding the fence. And it turned out that she was looking at a parking lot. Remember that whole scandal? Well, folks, it turns out that the images were fake. The scandal was fake. The photos of the actual holding facilities Trump was using were so nice looking that they even used them when they tried to shift the narrative and claim that they were Biden's holding facilities because they looked nicer, right? And then it turns out that the real photos of the Biden administration holding facilities look pretty dang terrible. Not only that, but if the reports are true and you have between 10 and 50% of the people coming across the border illegally having the virus, and while the Biden administration is offering them even free health care, as are many sanctuary cities in the U.S., putting people packed together like that, right next to each other, close proximity, more than I think 1,000% capacity, way, way over capacity. This is like the worst type of incubation, scenario for a virus you could possibly make. Again, if you or I were to travel internationally, we would have to, some places you'd have to have a virus passport. You'd have to, have gotten gotten the vaccine and shown them your virus passport. At the very least, a lot of places will make you quarantine, including for coming to New York. These people are not being forced to do a lot of this. And so it's pretty concerning. If they actually do believe that the virus is serious enough, as they claim, to justify lockdowns, to justify mask mandates, to justify maybe even forcing people to take the vaccines, or making people get vaccinated if they want to, attend events like they are in New York currently, then why are they allowing this, right? I've mentioned before, what they're really doing right now is they're replicating the same scenario that Cuomo in New York used to kill people in senior homes, these group homes, where they took people who had the virus and they put them together with people in close proximity in these group homes, right? It's like they're Cuomoing the entire country right now using this method, putting people together in these close proximity, very tight holding facilities. Again, so I've read 1,000% over capacity, 50% of whom allegedly have the virus. You can only imagine if the virus is as serious as they claim it is, that people would be in that proximity to each other, possibly giving each other the virus and then releasing them into the United States. It seems like the worst idea possible. But the media, as Trump notes, is not really reporting this. They're choosing to ignore it, which is ironic because they claim to have cared about these things, right? They claim to have cared about social distancing. They claim to have cared about international travel and COVID lockdowns. They claim to have cared about all these things. They claim to care about kids in cages. They obviously don't seem to care about any of this. The big question is, if they don't really care about this, then why are they promoting these things, right? If they cared about them so much, why are they not criticizing them the same right now as they did previously? Why are they doing that, right?